What if your arteries are already narrowing, and your body already possesses the mechanism to stop it? Not someday, not with medication. With a single vegetable you have probably walked past 100 times in the grocery store. NIH-affiliated researchers identified a specific compound in this food that switches on your body's own arterial repair sequence within few hours of eating it. It is not a supplement. It requires no prescription. The real question is not whether this works. The research has already answered that. The question is, do you know how to prepare it correctly? Here is exactly what you will walk away with by the time this ends. 1. You will see, at the microscopic level, precisely how plaque builds inside your arteries every single day without a single symptom. 2. You will understand what the endothelium is, why it is the most critical tissue in your entire cardiovascular system, and how one compound in broccoli activates your body's own nitric oxide production to begin reversing that damage. 3. You will learn the exact preparation method that determines whether this compound activates at all, because the overwhelming majority of people eating broccoli are receiving almost none of this benefit. The research is established. The mechanism is confirmed. What most people are missing is the preparation. That changes today. Consider what is actually at stake here. Cardiovascular disease is the #1 cause of death across the planet. Nearly 18 million lives lost every single year. The World Health Organization puts this into stark terms. 1 person dies from cardiovascular causes every 2 seconds. Right now, as these words reach you. And the most disturbing element of all this? Those deaths were not sudden in the way people imagine. They were the endpoint of years of silent narrowing, quiet accumulation, a body sending signals that were never seen. What makes this urgent, and what most discussions completely overlook, is that researchers funded through the NIH published findings confirming that specific dietary compounds can produce measurable improvement in endothelial function within hours of a single consumption event. Not months of effort, not years of discipline, 24 hours. So why is this not in every conversation about heart health? Let's go inside your arteries. Microscopic level. Your arteries are lined with a single layer of cells called the endothelium. 1 cell thick, that's it. And this 1 cell thick layer is responsible for everything: controlling blood flow, regulating pressure, preventing clotting, managing inflammation. A study published in the journal Circulation described the endothelium as the body's largest endocrine organ, producing over 50 different chemical messengers at any given moment. When this layer is healthy, it is smooth, flexible, and constantly signaling. When it is damaged, it becomes the first step toward arterial disease. And this is the detail that rarely surfaces in mainstream health conversations. Damage to this layer starts earlier than most people would expect, and it is reversible. But only when your body receives the right biochemical signal. So how does plaque actually form? This is where it gets shocking, because it starts with something that sounds almost harmless. LDL cholesterol, the type people call bad cholesterol, doesn't cause a problem just by being in your blood. The problem starts when it gets trapped beneath that endothelial layer and becomes oxidized. Oxidized LDL triggers an inflammatory signal. White blood cells rush in. They surround the oxidized LDL to try to contain it. And in doing so, they become what scientists call foam cells. These foam cells embed in your arterial wall and begin forming what you know as plaque. Day by day, meal by meal, without pain, without any sign. This process is silent. Most people learn it's happening only after a cardiac event. That is the emergency. And that is exactly why what we're about to reveal matters so much. This is where it gets genuinely extraordinary. Your body already has a repair mechanism built in. It's not a drug. It's not a procedure. It's a molecule your own endothelial cells produce naturally, called nitric oxide. NO, 2 letters. And those 2 letters might be the most important thing in cardiovascular science right now. Nitric oxide does something remarkable. It signals your arterial walls to relax. It reduces inflammation. It prevents platelets from sticking together. And crucially, it helps reverse the early stages of endothelial damage. A landmark study in the New England Journal of Medicine showed that reduced nitric oxide production is one of the earliest detectable signs of cardiovascular risk. The problem? Most people's bodies are producing far less of it than they should. And the most powerful food-based trigger for NO production, you'll find out in 60 seconds. Broccoli contains a compound called sulforaphane. And sulforaphane is, scientifically speaking, one of the most powerful endothelial protectors ever studied in a food. Here is the mechanism, step by step. When you chew raw or lightly cooked broccoli, an enzyme called myrosinase is activated. Myrosinase converts glucoraphanin, a compound present in the broccoli, into sulforaphane. That sulforaphane is absorbed into your bloodstream. And once inside your vascular system, it activates something called the NRF2 pathway, a master regulator of your body's antioxidant and anti-inflammatory response. NRF2 then increases the expression of genes responsible for producing nitric oxide. This is not a supplement pushing NO into your blood. This is your own genome being switched into repair mode. A study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences confirmed this pathway in human arterial tissue. This is not speculation. This is established biochemistry. This is the detail that changes everything, and it is the detail almost no one ever explains. Sulforaphane is not something broccoli simply delivers to you. It has to be created inside the broccoli by that myrosinase enzyme we just traced. And that enzyme is eliminated by one thing: heat. If you cook broccoli above 70 degrees Celsius for more than 5 minutes, you destroy most of the myrosinase activity. The glucoraphanin is still there, but the enzyme that converts it is gone. No enzyme, no sulforaphane, no NRF2 activation, no nitric oxide boost. This is precisely why most people eating cooked broccoli are capturing almost none of this vascular benefit. But the research reveals a preparation method that restores this entirely. You chop or lightly crush the broccoli first, wait 40 minutes, and then cook it briefly. Into that 40-minute window allows myrosinase to produce sulforaphane before the heat destroys the enzyme. The sulforaphane itself is heat-stable. Only the enzyme is not. This is the difference between eating broccoli and healing your arteries with broccoli. And within hours of this correctly prepared dose, a study published in the British Journal of Nutrition showed measurable improvement in endothelial function markers. Save this exactly. Let's talk about what the NIH-affiliated research actually confirmed, because this is bigger than any single study. Researchers working within NIH-funded programs, alongside teams from Johns Hopkins, found that sulforaphane from broccoli doesn't just protect existing endothelial cells. It stimulates the body's production of endothelial nitric oxide synthase, the enzyme that actually manufactures nitric oxide in your arterial walls. This is the deepest level of intervention possible from a food. You're not adding nitric oxide. You're upregulating the system that makes it. Furthermore, and this surprised even the researchers involved, the effect was dose-dependent. More sulforaphane, properly absorbed, produced more ENOS activity. And because broccoli sprouts contain up to 50 times more glucoraphanin than mature broccoli heads. Even small amounts of sprouts showed results that full portions of cooked broccoli did not. The dose and the preparation were everything.
Ding ding! Let's press this subscribe button. Great! Now you press it too! Awesome! Don't forget to subscribe for more!